My name is Adeola Adeyanju, Executive Director of Prime Atlantic Global Engineering Services. Always like to fix things. As a kid, you know how some children are argumentative. Everybody says, "Ah, you're going to be a lawyer." I just like to fix things. Like sometimes I like to break things apart for the opportunity to fix them. So as long as there are people, as long as I still think that there is a part of me to give, something to learn, I would always be motivated about work. I always say to people that the proof that you have an understanding of the subject matter is that you can ask questions, it's not that you have answers. My name is Adeola Adeyanju, Executive Director of Prime Atlantic Global Engineering Services and Managing Director, Synod Resources. Both of them are subsidiaries of the Prime Atlantic Group. I'm a husband, father, a die-hard Arsenal fan, long-suffering one too, a lover of movies, the arts generally. So whether it's a museum, anything arts related, I'm a big fan of that. I just always like to fix things. As a kid, you know how some children are argumentative. Everybody says, "Ah, you're going to be a lawyer." I just like to fix things. Like sometimes I like to break things apart for the opportunity to fix them if nothing has gone bad. So it was always clear to me that. So even when I left engineering for a while and went into consulting, it was still the same thing. I was still trying to troubleshoot organizations and then trying to come up with solutions to fix whatever was the problem with the organization. That's been me. I like to understand things at their micro level to understand what makes it work. So the biggest thing for me is ideas, is people's ability to think. So what I look for in people are people who challenge the status quo. If you're happy to just go along with the flow, you will not be my friend for a long time. I like people who come in and ask questions. Why is this this way? Why is this not this way? Because ultimately that's how we improve, that's how we learn. I always say to people that the proof that you have an understanding of the subject matter is that you can ask questions, not that you have answers. Because you having answers means that there's nowhere to go post that point. But when you have questions, then we can begin to find new answers. So that's what I look out for. Ah, I wouldn't say it's major. I think that generally the way I think about life, nothing is ever considered a major setback for me. I always see everything as part of the process, as part of the bigger picture. So even when I don't understand it, even when I'm not happy about it, I always see it as it will pay off at some point down the line. So yes, there was one time when I sent out an email to our partners that contained information that they should not be aware of. It was bad. It was really bad. My MD considered at that point asking me to resign. It was that major, but I worked it out. I worked something out with our partners. Everybody eventually chose to overlook it, mainly because we've done some very good work before that time. I think I got lucky. I have always ended up with fantastic managers. And so they showed me, I could see what it felt like for other people who had managers were not as great, and as against what I had. And so for me, it was always the ambition that one day when I become a manager, I would be the kind of manager that people want to work with, people want to stay with. And that has been my goal all along, is to even transit from a manager to a leader. Because a manager is a level in becoming a leader, but it's not the same. And for me, so every time I look back at those people who helped light that spark, as the people who have been the biggest contributors to my career. And they are all my friends still tomorrow. I think it's the same thing. I like people. I like to think that in some way um, I'm helping to shape a culture in a group. I'm helping to um, grow another generation of people. I believe that ultimately, as human beings, that's why we're here: is to relate, is to interact, is to sharpen each other. Iron sharpening iron. And so, as long as there are people, as long as I still think that there is something to a part of me to give, something to learn, I would always be motivated about work. I think, in fact, you want to kill me in the job, put me in the job that's just myself in a room somewhere, I won't last. Well, I mean, it's the same thing. So I hear a lot of motivational speakers go on and on about find your passion, do your passion. My take is in life, you have to earn the right to do your passion. So for some of us, our passions will not make money in Nigeria. It's not just the kind of environment. So you will do whatever it is you find to do so that you can pay your bills, and then that frees you up to do your passion. So if you are starting at the you're starting at the bottom of the ladder, understand that. I hate it when people say, "Oh, I just wasn't passionate about that work." That's the definition of laziness. Whatever your hands find to do, whatever, the goal is to do it well. The goal is to try and make a mark. The goal is to become that employee who doesn't necessarily wait for every step to be lined out. So, as I said earlier, I'm about people, but I'm about people with ideas. About people asking how different can we do this. When you're at the bottom of the ladder, that's the point where you make all your mistakes, and the mistakes are not costly. Today, if I make a mistake, it costs the company. Try new things. Oh, it didn't work. Big deal. You apologize. Oh, I'll try it again some other way. That's the point where you build a culture of trying new things. Playing it safe really doesn't keep you safe. That's my own philosophy. Don't play it safe. It won't keep you safe in the long run. Next 5 years, the hope is to make Pages a $10 million revenue company. In 10 years, a $40 million revenue company. That is the aspiration. So essentially, we started out as an instrumentation company. But since then, broadened that to include automation, to include controls. We do a lot of different things now. But in the next 5 years, we want to become a proper EPIC company where we're actually doing construction. We have conversations around owning a workshop, a yard somewhere in Port Harcourt, where we hope to actually do fabrication. So it will not just be the design and the procurement and the basic engineering that we currently do. We expect them to do turnkey projects. So we take it from design to final delivery of all aspects of the project. Personal goal for myself, many parts. I have a son going off to the university, so that was a big deal this year, walking that process through. And of course, he's also going to school abroad in an era where exchange rate is 1,005. So it also meant that I had to generate a bit more income, find ways to generate income to be sure that we will not start the process and be stranded in that process. The second thing for me was also to visit another country that I've not been to. I've been to a number of them. This year, yes, I will still go on to do that visit. So yeah, some personal goals. That my plan is to retire somewhat early from this corporate life so that I can go into movie production. Yeah, everybody, that shocks people when I say it. In fact, I remember that my first interview, when I was interviewing to join Accenture at the beginning of my career, the guy said to me, 20 years from now, where do you see yourself? I said, oh, I see myself as a great movie producer. I was like, what? Yeah, I said, I see myself as a great. So what are you doing here? I said, yeah, there are a lot of the different parts of making a movie. It's a business. It's not just art. It's not just about the style. So I need to understand those moving parts before I get to the part that I think I have a natural flair for, which is the actual production of movies. And that's still the plan. In a number of years, I will retire from all of this, go on to movie school somewhere in America, and then come back and become a movie producer. I think it's the same time, that same sending an email. Or when you have been seen as a superstar in an organization and then you make a mistake like that. So it was a chain of mails. My MD had said some things about our partners in that email. I just did a forward, included my own response to them and forwarded everything, all the different comments from different people. It was embarrassing. It was disastrous. But yeah, it's a lesson for life. So now I pay a lot more attention to detail. Rock climbing. I went on a mountain hike in Zurich. It was fantastic. I think the first thing that strikes you about a place like Zurich is how clean the air is. Then when you then go into the mountainside, it's super clean air. You don't want to leave the place.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo any day.
Apple or Android?
Android.
Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Suit, tie or casual wear?
Casual.
Tea or coffee?
Tea. Personal goals was that Arsenal will win the title this year. That didn't happen. We came close 2 points, but we moved.